Howdy, folks. My name is Rebecca Jolly, and I am the center of the world called Jolly Alchemy. And if you want to know its location, it's right at the intersection of science and magic. Yeah? Because there's very much about what I do that is based in science, but there's also some that's based in what you might call magic or the metaphysic or quantum physics, things that don't work in the way that regular Newtonian physics has predicted. But quantum science has actually begun to catch up with it, and so it is all slowly becoming science. But for the fun of it, this is what we call it. And what you can expect to see here is largely human design for now. And the reason for that is because I find it to be such a useful metaphor for helping us understand both ourselves and the way we function, the way we're meant to function, the way we can function optimally and move in to an optimal functioning of our own bodies, and also to understand the way other people are. Because after you've learned about yourself, you can start to see really interesting and relevant things in other people. As a brief example, I have a defined throat, and I can almost tell just by talking to somebody whether or not they have an open throat, because I come around them in my aura, I activate their open throat, and they just dump on me. They want to tell me everything. They want to, and I think to myself, I wonder if I'm dealing with an open throat here, because the not self definition of the open throat is to really just want to let all that energy out whenever that center gets activated by somebody, because they feel that when it's not activated, they can't express themselves. And there is a remedy for that I'll get into later, but it's just a brief example of the kind of thing that you can begin to notice about both yourself and other people as you begin to learn some of the details of how this metaphor works. And let's be clear, it is a metaphor. It doesn't contain all truth of the world, but after studying it in a very in-depth specialist kind of way for 4.5 years now, I can definitely say there's a lot of truth and a lot of information that is going on in this system, and that is helpful for people to be able to help themselves get out of their trauma, their emotional problems, their backups, their, the things that are bothering them on an individual way. Science at this point has come to a lot of a point where it can describe how humans are alike. Yeah, Western medicine is really, really good at this, describing how every heart works, or how every spleen works, or how our bodies work in just all the ways. But there isn't a good scientific way to describe how we are unique, and that is what human design is good for. So, although I have other healing modalities and areas of interest, including emotional clearing and Chinese astrology, face reading, permaculture, still, I think the most relevant and the most pressing right now for all of us is human design. So you will largely see me talking about human design now. Oh, there is one more thing that I want to mention on this list, and that is a new concept of mine in the last year or so called Blues Cafe. And what it's about is it's a method for bringing together the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor, the high status and the low status in society, so that we can heal some of these wounds that we see because of the 1% and the 99%. And I will get into explaining that more, just so that you know, my top definition is this capacity to be able to receive inspiration and explain it. And when I'm doing my work properly, my explanations are certainly helpful for me, and perhaps helpful for you as well. You be the judge. But That's what I'm here to do. So when I'm doing this, I'm doing things that are not being a chaos bunny in other places in the world. So let's take advantage of that. Go ahead and when you see my videos, if you feel like them, subscribe, send me comments, ask me questions. It just so happens that I'm in a brief window of time when I have time to entertain those questions and to engage with you personally. And this will not be the case forever. So, welcome. Look around. I have an example of the first of my classes of beginning human design. I also have short videos which don't give a lot of information but are more like hooks to lead into bigger places. And I have a series that I'm doing. I won't be doing it forever, but I am doing it for at least a while because it's my project to do a daily transit report for myself every day, at least this year. And I am learning a lot from it, so maybe you will too. And I do have upcoming classes and workshops. Go ahead and let me know the kinds of things that you'd like to have specific classes and workshops on. There's an awful lot of knowledge running around in here and access to resources that I have that I'm trying to make available, because part of the problem with human design has been a little bit of gatekeeping. And I think that this information is too important to be gate kept on some level. Of course, there is a level at which the laborer is worthy of her hire, and I need to buy groceries just like everybody else. But there's also a balance to be made between giving people the information that can help them to feel release from their emotional burdens. So I get all that. I have an awful lot of wiring in me to be a revolutionary and to have a sensitivity to the needs of the community. So here I am doing what I can. Get what you can out of it and go ahead and ask me for more. It doesn't hurt to ask, and we'll see how it goes. Until then, take care of yourselves. I hope to see you around jollyalchemy.com and here at the YouTube channel. Take care of yourselves. Bye.